Hello and welcome to My Carolina Homestead. My name is Michelle and today I'm making super simple, easy, no-knead dinner rolls. This recipe is so simple and delicious and only has 4 ingredients. So if you've been looking for a delicious, easy, no-knead dinner roll recipe, then this one might be for you. Let's get started. So to start off, I've assembled all of my ingredients, and here I have a glass mixing bowl that I have put in the microwave for 1 minute. I'm trying to proof the yeast and it needs to be in a warm environment. So here I'm going to add 13 ounces of warm water to this warm bowl so that I can proof the yeast. If I were to add that warm water to a cold bowl, it would cool down the water. Therefore, it wouldn't be a warm environment for our yeast to proof in. Now I'm just going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt to the warm water. And now it's time to add the yeast. I am using instant yeast. This is just what I prefer. I can buy it in bulk and I keep it in the freezer. For this recipe, I'm going to add 1 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast. I'm going to give this a stir and let this incorporate for a minute or two. After you've stirred the yeast and the salt in the warm water and that's combined and dissolved, now it's time to add our flour. So I am going to be using bread flour today. This is just my preference for the dinner rolls or really any other bread recipe that I have. And I'm going to use 3.5 level scoops of bread flour. And I'm just shaking the measuring cup inside the bag to level it out. You can definitely scrape the top with a leveler or a butter knife if you prefer, but I do the scoop and shake method myself. Now I'm just going to take a spatula and combine this flour together. And I'm not using my hands. I'm not going to be kneading this dough. It will be a shaggy dough, but as you can see, I'm just picking it up off the side of the bowl and folding it into the center of the dough ball until the sides of the bowl are clean. And that's it right there. We've just made a delicious dough for our dinner rolls using 4 ingredients. So you can see it's a little shaggy, and that's okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. And now what I'm going to do is cover it with a clean kitchen towel. And I'm going to put it in my oven on the proof setting for 1.5 hours. If your oven does not have a proof setting, all you need to do is stick it in the oven and turn the interior light on. The warmth from the incandescent light will warm the inside of the oven up just enough to proof it, and this is what we're looking for. We want the dough to have at least doubled in size, and that is what we've done here. So I'm just going to use this spatula and fold this dough back into itself, and this is called degassing. So a lot of people will punch it down, and that's fine, you can punch it down too, but this is kind of a sticky dough. So I'm trying to use my hands as little as possible. And you can see as I'm folding this dough into itself, it is a lot smoother now and not as shaggy as it was before we proofed it. Now I'm just grabbing a little bit of flour to put on the countertop so I can roll this dough out and prepare the dinner rolls for the muffin tin. So I just added a little flour to the top of the dough ball inside the bowl, and this is just going to lightly coat the surface so that it's not quite as sticky as it was. So it's going to make it a little easier to work with. And now I'm gonna flour my hands a little bit because, as I said, it's a very sticky dough. So I'm just gonna turn this around and I'm gonna cut this into equal sizes. I think I'm gonna get maybe 10 muffins out of this. So I'm just gonna split this evenly until I get the right amount of dinner rolls that I'm looking for. We have some dear friends coming over tonight for a big roast beef dinner, so I thought some nice dinner rolls would be great to serve alongside roast beef with some mashed potatoes and gravy and some really good southern side dishes. Normally we're pretty carb conscious around here, but tonight we are going to set that to the side and just enjoy some nice homemade southern cooking with our friends tonight for dinner. Well, I ended up with 9 equally proportioned dinner roll dough balls. But before I add them to my muffin tin, I'm going to grease my pan with some butter. I'm going to get them coated really well so the dinner rolls don't stick. Just added a little bit of flour to the surface of the dough balls so that I can mold them into a round shape and just sort of tuck the ends under itself. You can see I just kind of tuck that in and mold them into a round shape and just drop them right into the muffin tin. So I'm going to continue to do this until I have all these dinner rolls in my muffin pan. Now that that's finished, I'm going to cover these dinner rolls again, and I'm going to set those in a warm place to proof again for 30 minutes. They're not going to go back into the oven. I'm just going to set them aside on the countertop to proof for 30 more minutes. Okay, now that that's finished, I have got my oven preheating at 450, and I have my rack set for the center rack. And now what I'm doing is just taking a pair of kitchen shears and cutting, putting a little slit in the middle of my dinner rolls. And I'm going to cover these with a little bit of olive oil. This is going to give the crust a nice pretty brown color and also give it a little bit of chew. So it's going to add some texture to the top of the bread. If you prefer, you can use melted butter on the tops of your dinner rolls. That's delicious as well. And now that they've all been oiled, I'm just going to add a little pinch of fresh sea salt to the top of each one of these. After your oven has preheated at 450 for 15 minutes, bake your dinner rolls at 450 on the center rack for 18 to 20 minutes. And this is what they should look like when they are finished. Warm, delicious, beautiful dinner rolls. I hope you try this recipe, and if you do, please leave me a comment down below. And as always, I want to thank you for stopping by my Carolina homestead and spending some time with me today. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell for more videos coming soon. See you next time, and take care.